Okay, so I'm an administrator at a major hospital in the New York City area, and I'm not supposed to talk about this, but it's so disconcerting that I believe more people need to know about it. There's been an unexpected and inexplicable rise in the stockpile of blood. It's not only at our hospital, but in hospitals and blood banks around the world. No one knows where it's coming from, and no one can seem to explain how it gets there. All the routine tests say it's perfectly good and free from any pathogens or impurities. But the fact remains that no one knows what's going on. I mean, you have to realize hospitals and blood banks everywhere have always been low on blood. It's why there are blood drives and calls for donations and all that. The last few weeks, though, there's been so much that our hospital needed to dispose of some because it expired before you had a chance to use it. As weird as this sounds, it gets worse. Alright, this is the part I'm worried will come back and bite me in the ass if any of the other administrators uncover who I am. This is the part I'm worried will come back and bite me in the ass if any of the other administrators discover who I am. I signed an NDA explicitly stating I wouldn't talk about this. Still, I can't keep this quiet. When we dispose of the blood, we do it in the incinerator with all the other medical waste. The fire burns so hot, pretty much everything evaporates, and all that's left is inert ash. But this blood didn't evaporate. It did something way different. A hospital maintenance worker was on the roof doing some unrelated work when smoke from the incinerator began exiting through the chimney. It looked normal for a while, but then the smoke tapered off and flies started pouring out. He told us they flew straight up for nearly 2 full minutes and hung above the roof like a cloud. After another minute, they fell like rain and burst open, covering the roof and the maintenance worker with the same blood we tried to incinerate. We tried to incinerate more blood, this time with hospital administrators waiting on the roof. Same result. Our administrators have spoken with the heads of other hospitals around the country. They've experienced similar issues. The blood banks are bursting with overstock, and people everywhere are being given this blood that just appeared out of nowhere. The last thing I'm going to mention is the patient we readmitted last night. He'd been discharged a month ago following an operation which required multiple transfusions. Those transfusions were done with the mystery blood before anyone noticed its existence. His readmission was due to a fire at his home. He came into the ER with 60% of his body covered in third-degree burns. While he was being worked on, flies erupted from underneath the burned flesh and dropped to the floor, exploding into thick droplets of blood. The patient died soon after. The doctors and nurses were frightened and confused, but they don't know the whole story. I guess they will soon. Please, please, help me tell more people about what's going on. The blood just doesn't stop coming.